afternoon. Isang mapagpalang araw po sa ating lahat, mga kapatid. First, allow me to congratulate the conference organizer. Also, thank you so much for accepting our paper, for giving us a chance to share the result of our research titled Gender, Catholic Social Teaching, and COVID-19 in the Philippines, analyzing the social solidarity of women devotees in two Black Nazarene Facebook groups. Applying sociological and theological perspective on disaster, solidarity, and Catholic social teaching as a primary theoretical framework and using online prayers of two Black Nazarene groups. This article attempts to find parallelism between some tenets of Catholic social teachings on solidarity and the online religious experiences of selected female members of the traditional Catholic devotion of the Black Nazarene. It attempts to debunk the popular perception that Filipino Catholic women lack social concerns beyond family matters because of their traditional gender role and cannot practice the church teaching solidarity because of lack of catechism of the church social doctrines. The study's analysis revealed that more than two-thirds of the total online prayers did not focus only on the family matters but also on the social concern of the larger community. It showed that despite the ignorance of the official church teaching of solidarity, Catholic female devotees still express strong social solidarity with insignificant others beyond family members. But this form of solidarity is more akin to disaster solidarity and the Filipino value of bayanihan, rather than the faith-driven social compassion. This article therefore recommends catechism of the members of the Black Nazarene devotion on Catholic social teachings to nurture the public dimension of their Christian faith and to align their concept of solidarity with the official Catholic teaching. Now, I invite you to listen to my partner, Dr. Vivencio Ballano. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dean Raul Sebastian, for the holistic understanding of the article. Now, I will discuss to you the overview of the research, the theory, methodology, the results, and discussion, as well as the conclusion. So, first of all, this study aims to know whether the members of two Facebook groups of the Black Nazarene have social solidarity to the poor beyond their family members. It is assumed that women are socialized in the traditional gender role, therefore they focus their concern on the family members, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, this study aims to argue otherwise, that these devotees have strong social concern beyond the family. But the question is whether this social solidarity of the devotees conform with the church social doctrines called Catholic social teaching. So we want to understand whether their social concern reflects the Catholic Church teaching, and then we will give you some recommendations after the presentation of the results. Okay. So we have the methodology. The methodology is actually a textual analysis, discourse analysis of 150 Facebook posts and prayers of the two groups of Black Nazarene devotion. Okay, so we're analyzing them, and then we classify them into teams, and we want to understand their concept of social solidarity. Most of the members come from the urban poor, and then most of them are mothers. Okay, so let's go to the results. So it has been said that women are socialized in traditional gender role, therefore they are caregivers, basically housekeepers, and so their concern is more on the family. But here in our studies, it was found out that out of the 150 posts that we analyzed, only around 30% focus on the family concerns, no, for their children, for the husband, etc. Okay, so let's go to some example of their prayers. So like this, Tilma, for instance, prayed for the health of her youngest child during the COVID-19, no, to be tested negative. So also there's another prayer on Petra, praying for the recovery of the husband. You know, we discovered that there are prayers focusing on the husband. In the traditional gender role, the husband is the breadwinner. So if the husband gets positive or infected with COVID-19, then the family lacks social support. Because in the traditional gender role, the wife is the housekeeper and is not earning income outside the family. So that's the traditional gender role. So you'll notice that there are posts focusing on the husband for healing during the COVID-19 pandemic. Then, aside from the family, we also discovered that there is strong solidarity for people outside the family, like the medical frontliners, the prayers for the doctors and nurses. There are also prayers for the country. So surprisingly, they are praying for the country outside the family, you know, family concerns. And then finally, they are also praying for global solidarity, or in order that the entire world will be free from COVID-19 pandemic, no? That the Lord, the Black Nazarene will save them from the global pandemic. Okay, so these are some samples like Lola, dear Lord, you are the refuge in the entire world. Please help us in our prayers, no, to end the pandemic spreading throughout the world. Okay, and also Rita and the rest. Okay, let's go to the analysis. So we have analysis and discussion for the Catholic social teaching. Social concern, social solidarity is part of the Christian faith, and it is a virtue, not just a temporary feeling for compassion for others. But what we discover in our study is that their social solidarity is more of disaster solidarity. We call it in Filipino also as bayanihan, camaraderie. So it is concern for brothers and sisters outside the family who share the same traumatic experience. So that's what we call disaster solidarity. But that is not what the Catholic social teaching is about social solidarity, because it is more of a virtue for the church teaching, virtue, part of the faith. But here, the type of solidarity we discover is more on human concern for those who are suffering from the same disaster experience. Okay, so what is our conclusion? So our conclusion that despite traditional gender role, women, the mothers, the deputies have more concern beyond the family. 2/3 or more 60%, more than 60% focus on their concern for the frontliners, for people who are victims of the COVID-19, for the entire country suffering from the pandemic, as well as the entire world. So this debunks the idea that Filipino women, especially deputies of the Black Nazarene, lack social concern beyond the family. Okay, and it also showed that the findings showed that their concern is more on disaster solidarity rather than the official teaching of the church on social concern. Now the problem here is because of the lack of catechism, the Catholic social teaching, their view of social solidarity is not really in accordance with the church teaching, but more or less there is sharing there, because we believe there is a legal pluralism in society, different social normative systems interact with one another. Therefore, the Catholic social teaching has no monopoly on the teaching of social solidarity. These Catholics, these members of the Facebook groups also learn it from other sources, other normative systems. But there is also common element there of loving one's neighbor beyond the family. Okay, so what are our recommendations? We recommend for further studies to explore this type of social solidarity of the members of the Black Nazarene beyond the pandemic. Okay, and then we also recommend that the Catholic Church, should provide more catechism to enhance the social solidarity of members of the Black Nazarene, and then to explore more about gender equality in the oldest devotion in the country. Okay, so thank you very much, and we thank you also for our Dean Raul Sebastian of the Polytechnic University, and for the committee allowing us to present our study.